And the official Ryan Tran gonna call this one. But Logan Paul played it cheap. Getting a cheap shot on the son of a sinner himself. Jelly Roll. And this match, I don't even think has officially gotten started yet. And it seems that Logan Paul is going to be starting this match. Randy Orton telling Jelly Roll, hey, I'm going to start this match. Jelly Roll, who needs to get his emotions in check because I would be frustrated. I don't know how wise that was. Jelly Roll tags himself in. He wants this. He wants to get his hands on Logan Paul. How ironic is it? I never thought in a million years that Randy Orton would try to be the voice of reason. From a man who's always heard voices in his head to being the voice of reason. Oh, man. Time truly makes the world weirder and weirder. And Logan Paul going right after Jelly Roll with these hammering blows to the back. Say what you want about it. And say what you want to say about Logan Paul. He has shown just how incredible, just how much work he's put in to be a top star here in the WWE. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next few years he once again wins another championship. Perhaps it's the world title, maybe the WWE championship. Logan Paul's already conquered as the United States championship. Meanwhile, talk about getting conquered. Jelly Roll gets a scoop slam and takes out Logan Paul. And a nice elbow drop to the Maverick as he goes for the cover. And Logan Paul kicking at it too. Paul seems a bit stunned that there's already a few moves in the arsenal of Jelly Roll being shown out on display here in this matchup. But now with McIntyre tagged in, as much as I want to give Jelly Roll credit and respect, and I have the utmost respect for Jelly Roll and what he's been able to accomplish. Any man who is able to turn their life around the way Jelly Roll has and get in the best shape of their lives, I think it's wise to tag in Randy Orton at this point. Drew McIntyre is one of the most dangerous men in WWE. A man that actually has multiple victories over Randy Orton. And now slapping Jelly Roll in the back of the head. But he's just playing mind games. Jelly Roll is being toyed with. Jelly Roll, you cannot let your ego get the best of you. Just because you want to get your hands on Drew McIntyre right this second does not mean you should. Tag in Randy Orton. Make the wise decision. Randy Orton is more capable of handling a guy like Drew McIntyre. And Randy Orton tried to psych up Jelly Roll, but now you realize once you actually get in the face of McIntyre, it's not quite what you expect. The smack of disrespect only infuriated the Scottish Warrior. And here comes these left jabs. Jabbing and jiving. Only gets knocked down by McIntyre. Jelly Roll, who desperately needs Randy Orton at this point. And McIntyre talking smack to Randy Orton. Oh, and a thunderous chop. And another chop to the chest of Jelly Roll. And it's McIntyre who is enjoying this, breaking down Jelly Roll piece by piece. as he stomps onto the hand. Let's not forget, Jelly Roll did say he broke a finger while he was training, broke his pinky. So going after his hand is very wise. However, I will say it wasn't 100% clear which pinky, but perhaps Drew McIntyre may have found the inside scoop on that one. Meanwhile, Drew and Logan just work together to get a double suplex to take down Jelly Roll. And now it's Logan Paul, the legal man, who's going to really bring the fight here to Jelly Roll. And Logan Paul just feeding off of the negative energy that the crowd is expressing towards him. That's pretty much been Logan's entire career, is just embracing the negativity. And Logan Paul with that split-legged leg drop into a cocky cover that didn't get all of the three. Surprisingly, Jelly Roll is still showing signs of life after being battered and beaten by McIntyre. And now Paul, who's hammering away. It's that boxing background of Logan Paul. Logan Paul also has an amateur background. Logan Paul grew up a fan of this sport. So say what you want to say. Logan Paul knew what he was getting into. And when he was coming into the WWE, also entering in at an incredibly great shape, Logan Paul has the frame in which he's built for this sport. Not too many of these celebrities that come in are built for this. Jelly Roll, a man who had to get prepared. And you can hear the WWE Universe. Over 51,000 want Randy Orton in this match, but McIntyre catches Orton off guard, knocking him off the apron. And Jelly Roll is all alone with no one to tag. And McIntyre gets sent over the top to the outside onto the floor. But now has no one to tag. But now Randy Orton is able to make it back up to his feet. Can Jelly Roll get there? It's the time. Scratching and crawling. He's so close, inches away, and the tag has been made to WWE's Apex Predator. And Logan Paul gets knocked off the apron. McIntyre laid out. And Randy Orton with that snap power slam. And he's picking it up. Oh. This is vintage Randy Orton. And that draping DDT over the middle rope takes out McIntyre. Randy Orton has McIntyre measured as the Viper is coiled, but Logan Paul is a team player and pulls McIntyre out of the ring, who is in absolute deep trouble. And a boot to the midsection to Logan Paul as he gets launched in the barricade. Drew McIntyre. Uh-oh. This isn't good for McIntyre. Spine connects with the Spanish announce table. Logan Paul now is about to suffer the same fate as his tag team partner. And a Claymore takes out Randy Orton. Talk about an explosive shot. The Viper may have been defanged. But now it's Jelly Roll who's trying to hype up Randy Orton. And Jelly Roll, who checked on Randy Orton, gets attacked from behind by Logan Paul. Things are not faring well for Jelly Roll right now. And the titanium loaded fist laying out Jelly Roll. It's night-night. Out like a light goes Jelly Roll. And McIntyre, who's back in the ring. And breaking the ref's count. Logan Paul has shades, has a prime. His primed and loaded. And McIntyre laying Jelly Roll up. And a prime. And a prime. Talk about a prime time moment here at SummerSlam. 2 bottles of prime. Double fisted. And ready to fly. Soars for prime. And a crash and burn. With a frog splash. Laying out Jelly Roll through the announce desk. And a massive moment here at the biggest party of the summer. This is what you get. Jelly Roll asked for this match. You ask and you shall receive. Unfortunately, he is finding out the hard way that when it comes to such a big event like SummerSlam, this job is no easy job. And a serious situation right now for Jelly Roll, who is struggling. This is not for the weak, not for the faint-hearted whatsoever. If you're Jelly Roll, you probably never want to step foot in a WWE ring again. But here's the real action. The legal men in this match. And I hate to say the real action because that was as real as it gets. But this is where the legal action, these 2 men who are the legal competitors in this match, is McIntyre. It's going to do a little bit of showboating. But how wise is that? Especially when one of your opponents is Randy Orton. And that's the other legal man in the ring with you. And Drew McIntyre going after Randy Orton, who is worse for wear. It's now become a 2-on-1. Jelly Roll is hardly with it. And now it's only a matter of time before this is over. You had to know this had every chance of going this way. This is not looking good for the Apex Predator whatsoever. Jelly Roll, who's been at ringside, who's had his thoughts, speaking his mind. He wanted nothing more than to have his SummerSlam moment. Well, I'll tell you what, he was certainly on the receiving end of a SummerSlam moment as he's being helped to the back by WWE officials. And Logan Paul mocking Jelly Roll, who's being carried out. But I will say he's walking. He's at least not being stretchered out. And now a blockbuster by Logan Paul lays out Randy Orton. And it's only a matter of time, unless Randy Orton's able to overcome the odds. Logan Paul laughing, the mockery at Jelly Roll. And now tagging in Drew McIntyre. And a man who once upon a time carried the WWE through the pandemic era. A time that just felt so unreal. But his biggest challenge in 2020 was Randy Orton. And now here we are, 5 years later. SummerSlam. Randy Orton superplex. Just like his father, connecting with a superplex. And of course, his father being the legendary Hall of Famer Cowboy Bob Orton. Jelly Roll looking back at the ring. Is he not done? How wise is this one? He doesn't want to stay down. How is he even on his own 2 feet? Jelly Roll somehow fighting through the pain, the exhaustion, the sweat dripping down his face. When it hurts. When it hurts coming down. When you crash. When you burn. You get back up. You continue to find ways to stick with it. When it hurts crashing down. And it hurts inside. You just gotta be a man. Because Jelly Roll's bringing out the fight that is inside of him. With a choke slam, laying out Logan Paul. And the black roll slam. Rolling through. Jelly's jamming here at SummerSlam. Son of a sinner is smacking it at SummerSlam. And it's Jelly's time to slam. Time to slime, time to shine. Slinging it through. But McIntyre breaks things up. And the Claymore lays out Jelly Roll. But an RKO! But Paul sends Orton into the barrack, into the ring post. There's all kinds of chaos going on. Logan Paul with the frog splash. And it's for the win. Logan Paul lays out Jelly Roll. Unfortunately for Jelly Roll, the fairy tale ending is nowhere in sight. But for Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre, they get their moment here at SummerSlam. The Maverick and the Scottish Warrior stand tall. The social media keyboard warriors are more than just warriors on X and social media. They take it to the ring. They brought the action. They brought the fight to Randy Orton and Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll, who showed heart. He showed up. He showed out. But it just wasn't enough. Heart, as much as you want a fairy tale ending, that good feeling, it just always isn't the case. He had his comeback moment. He thought it was it. A jelly to belly, if you will. And this is where the beginning of the end was. An RKO. Logan Paul caught Randy Orton where he wanted him, sending him into the ring post. And then Logan Paul, textbook, grade, frog splash, ending Jelly Roll's SummerSlam moment. I will say this, Jelly Roll has nothing whatsoever to feel ashamed of. He put up one heck of a fight.